got me good in a hole that I just can't defuse. But I know, the tricks up your sleeve. 'Cause you and I used to sing just to pass by the time, and I can't let go without a partial thought to where our song may flow. Some ring away, but the echo of yours seem to stay. And lately when I listen close, what I hear may be fake. So you be real now, and I'll be honest, that what we've got here is truly harmonic. And I can search just to hear the same sound play. But why would I when you're standing here right in front of me? Truly harmonic. Oh, you've got me good. It's a concept I just can't refuse, but you had to see through what seemed without flaw. So you may say that the sound from of ours wrong away. Maybe it's true. So when this sound leaves my ear, I can't help but to sing it again. Hope that if I sing it out, maybe you'll comprehend. I've been around now, and all is silent. What we've got here is truly harmonic. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. When you think of me and the lyrics that we used to sing, and take them for then what they appear. 'Cause all along, I'll admit that it's all just a song, but maybe it's more than singing to me. Do we exist if the sound of our music stops playing? 'Cause maybe the next time around things won't be the same without exchange. So you be real now, and I'll be honest, that what we've got here is truly harmonic. And I can search just to hear the same sound play. But why would I when you're standing here right in front of me? Truly harmonic.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another adventure show with Darren and the Music Man.
What?
The Business Power Hour. We are here tonight, ready to rock and roll.
Adventurer? Adventurer.
Yeah.
You said adventurer.
Yeah, she said we didn't have we had a comical show.
Oh, a comical. So being comedy. That's what
we
that
couldn't
is.
Do straight.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Business
to
Power
our straight show.
How are you, Norm?
Okay, I'm good.
What's going on? You having a good week so far?
This has been a really good week.
Been an excellent week,
it's
right?
Good, yeah, and I'm still healthy, and that's all good. You had a good week.
I'm having a good week.
I haven't been able to reach you all week.
I've been running like crazy. My calendar is full. Michelle has been keeping my calendar full for me.
That's good.
So it's, every time I turn around,
How many times do you go to the supermarket for her?
I don't. I'm not allowed.
Oh, because you got to be at work and bring in
No,
the
because
box.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Bring in the
It's
box.
all about how
But
much.
teamwork,
how
we're
much-
bringing in shows.
Oh yeah, we're bringing in a lot
Teamwork.
of shows.
Yep.
We're already booked almost through May, right?
Yeah, we're just
Right?
about done.
January's
through May.
not even done, and we're almost. booked
We
through
also
May.
have a September booking.
Do we really?
We
September.
do, and
we're that
I
far
just
out.
emailed him, so hopefully Mike Brothers is listening in. Hi, Mike. If you're in, give us a call at 631-415-1365. 631-415-1365. And people want to call in because
they're
we
gonna-
have a special guest.
Tonight, look, guys, on the bottom of the screen is the number. So even though we're saying it, it's right in front of you. Don't be afraid to call in. We want to hear from you guys. And you're going to want to know, tonight you're going to want to call in.
Why?
Absolutely. Well, it's the end of January, and guess what? Even though the government is shut down, they're going to start accepting tax returns, personal tax returns next week.
Really?
And we have an expert here that's going to talk to us
Who
about
said he
what's
was
going
an
on.
expert?
He did.
Oh, he told us.
Yeah,
was
he
an
told
expert.
me he was an expert.
Have you seen his license or anything?
No, I haven't seen
So
his
you don't
license.
know if he's for real.
I don't know if he's real.
But he better be for
but
real.
he's your accountant.
Because he's my accountant. So let's welcome Dave Korcz to the show.
Hey, Dave,
how are you?
How are you, Dave?
Great, guys.
Good
to be
evening.
back.
Nice to see
Yeah,
you.
nice having you back.
Nice having you here again for the fourth time.
It's
I
the
think
fourth
in-
time, right?
In
fourth
a
time
year
with-
and a half.
Fourth time with second time with
In
me.
about a year
So-
and a half, 2 years. This is the fourth time, which is crazy.
We always get some
good.
great calls too with
That's-
some interesting questions.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on now. This year is, from a federal government standpoint, is a really a huge shift in the way that we're going to be preparing personal taxes. And correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm preparing mine the same way.
You know.
I just send it to Dave. And
Well, that's the easy
same
way,
thing I
right?
do.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
the
best thing to do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do because there were so many changes and so many different things going on.
It's the largest overhaul.
Right.
I mean, I started my career in 1987, right after the
Last-
act in '86, which was the last big overhaul,
Right.
where they threw all the books out the window and reformed the taxes. There've always been little tweaks the last 30 years, but this one's a major overhaul. The returns look completely different. It's
So let me ask you a general question. If you took the average person's tax return who got back $1,000 last year, and you did the same exact tax return this year, what are they looking at? Same deductions, everything the same.
It depends because the deductions change, and February, March, the withholding tables changed.
Yes, so I'm
So
saying.
they may get similar, they may get a little more, they may get a little less.
You really
people-
cover your bases with that one.
Well,
You know, they did a study. They
Don't
said
protect him.
approximately.
I am protecting him because
You don't need-
here's
he doesn't
every
need you to
situation
protect
is
him.
different.
Every
He's a
situation is
karate
different.
guy.
Every situation is different, but it depends on how their form was filled out last year.
You know, and the government did estimate that probably about 5 million people that got refunds last year are going to owe this year, just because they didn't adjust their situation when the withholding tables changed. Everybody got that extra 15 or 20 or 30 bucks in their paycheck.
They think it's free money, right?
Exactly.
And
They think it's free money until they sit with me in the next month or so, and what do you mean I owe?
Exactly. So Dave, walk us through a typical and
A couple of changes.
a couple of changes, but no, when somebody wants to come to you, walk us through what they got to bring and things like, because you get these people who walk in with just boxes of stuff and just throw everything at you.
Before you do that,
go ahead.
let's take you back to your childhood
Oh,
days.
there you go.
Okay.
And I'm not going to ask you what you did as a kid. How did you get to the position that you're in now? Tell us a little bit about your work history.
The background?
What makes you
Me?
a CPA and makes you you?
Sure. Went to college up in SUNY Albany. Started there in '83. Graduated in '87. Always had a head for numbers, an affinity for numbers. Like working with people. Started out of school with a large regional firm up there, probably a top 25 firm in the country. Got a good set of basics there. And then I moved to a smaller regional firm with about 75 professionals, where they'll let you
That was
roll
small.
up your sleeves.
75 is a nice size
Yeah.
firm.
Well, it's not top 100 even
No.
at that level. Was like a top 10 firm in the Albany area, in the Capital District. They were a 75-man shop, and you get to roll up your sleeves and learn more about dealing with small, closely held businesses. They went through a round of downsizing, and then I ended up in working on the biggest tax return in the world, in my opinion. Worked on the tax return for General Electric. I was in their tax department for 6 months.
I thought you were going to
Trump.
say work on Norm's tax return. Isn't that like the biggest tax
It
return?
might have
in
been
the
for
world?
1989. It might have been. But
it wasn't bad then.
GE's tax return for 1989. They used to run their tax department in Schenectady, New York, and I worked on that I was in that tax department on a temp assignment for 6 months when I was in between CPA firms. And just to give you an idea of the size of that return, it weighed 111 pounds.
Wow.
With the IRS. This was in the days before e-filing.
Yeah.
Then I jumped back in for another 5 years with a smaller CPA firm up there, about a 25-man shop where you really get to do a deep dive, learn the ins and outs of working with small business owners. Had a lot of experience in the beverage industry, a lot of experience with car dealers, and the job market for CPAs in the Albany area died in the early 90s. One of the big banks up there got bought by an out-of-town bank, laid off all their middle managers, and Ernst & Young closed their Albany office. So there I was with 7 years experience on the resume, looking for that first controller or CFO gig. Wasn't anything to be found up there. Looked to get back down here. I'm from Brooklyn originally. Looked for about 6 weeks down here. Ended up getting a job as the number 2 guy in finance with the largest privately held beer distributor in the country. Was with them for about 5 years. Then got a background, worked for a manufacturer of mattresses for 7 years. Had a sister company that did bedspreads and draperies.
Okay, so hold on now,
Go ahead.
right? So you're now working in private industry,
Exactly. We
right?
jumped
Because
over the
I've done the
management
same
side.
thing. I did the public accounting, then I went to private. But at the same time, you've always been doing tax
I started
returns,
growing
right?
my tax practice ever since I got my license in 1989.
Okay, so you've been in there since the beginning,
Oh, yeah.
and you've seen all these changes with the taxes going on. You got your small business experience, or medium-sized business, because it was the
Exactly.
largest beer distributor in the world.
Yeah, they were doing
private.
over 300 million in beer back then.
Yeah, so
Just in beer.
Just in beer.
He obviously wasn't a small business.
No, and I know in today's dollars and in today's market, they're over $1 billion a year
Right.
in beer.
Yeah, and that's
What do you
tremendous.
think?
Right?
What do you think?
That's a lot of bottles of beer on the wall.
That's a lot of bottles of beer on the wall, right?
Counting inventory was always fun, you know. And then we went from there into manufacturing to get a background in that while growing this tax practice on the side.
Okay.
Then I was with a distributor of metalworking tools and supplies in College Point, Queens for about 4 years. And then the family that owned the mattress manufacturer invited me back because they had started a technology company. And they were looking for private equity funding for that we helped them get. All while growing this tax practice and adding 20, 30 clients a year.
Okay.
You know, back then
So-
it was the folks that you could see evenings and weekends.
When did you decide enough was enough with doing the 2 careers and said, okay, now it's time for me to open up my own shop?
Well, about 5 years ago, private equity decided that we got the private equity investor in the technology company. They decided that they wanted someone from their team managing their money.
Right.
So they kept me on a part-time consulting basis to help with some of the background stuff. They kept me on 2 days a week while laying me off from a full-time CFO gig. They kept me on to do all the back office work,
Right.
and to put the numbers together. So it was a wonderful opportunity. Gave me a jump start to my practice to take it to the next level.
Okay.
They really pushed me 2 years earlier than I had planned to go. I
Okay.
planned when my youngest was done with college to do this.
So basically what you had the plan of saying, okay, at some point I'm going to jump in with my own, I'm going to open up my own
Exactly.
shop, and I'm going to have my own clients, and they're going to be my clients. I'm not going to work for somebody else anymore.
Exactly.
Right. But as we see on the show all the time, most people go into their own business because of a situation like yours. They're either down in a downsizing situation, or they got to a point where it was just time to move on, and you got to that move on point.
They pushed me out a year and a half ahead of my schedule.
Right.
Thought it was the best thing ever happened.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, because now you have a control over
Exactly.
how you do business and where you do business.
You can
and
be selective.
you can be very selective as to your clients too, right?
And to where you want to practice, exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. You don't have to take on every client that comes to your door. You can take on the clients that are going to make you money, right?
Exactly. The ones that are going to make you money and the
And
ones
not
where
give you a pain.
So why you with him?
He's a great guy.
See?
I can
You know,
put
your
my-
wife keeps telling me you're a great guy. But,
I'm a very good.
I can put my head on the pillow every night,
right.
and know that I did a good job and helped someone. Because there's so much confusion out there about the tax code and so much
Right.
misinformation.
Right.
And we fix so many other people's messes. I'm sure you see it in your business as well.
I see it, 'cause, as you know, I also do tax for small businesses and stuff like that. But and you and I can relate in the sense that too many times we get clients who think they know more than we do
Oh, absolutely.
in what they can and cannot do, right? And they try to dictate to us
Oh, sure.
how it's going to happen. And we
I'm
have
going to write
control
off my hot tub. You know,
You're right, yeah.
you got a doctor's note saying it's medically necessary. No,
No, I'll get
right
one.
off the hot tub.
Okay, yeah. You
I'll have it for you this afternoon.
right. Norm will have it for you.
I'll
so
make
don't
it
worry
for
about
you.
it.
You know,
That's you're that client.
Take a computer, and you put a nice little logo on there with a nice little name up on top. Boom.
Boom, done.
I hope the IRS isn't listening. They'll be looking at mine.
You know, I
They're not
file
worried
an
about
honest
you.
return where I can
Oh,
put my head
they're
on the
not
pillow.
working. They're furloughed. Forgot.
What's the
They
thing?
are. It's been very challenging to get through to them to try and represent some of my
Well,
clients.
how
the
do you
last
get?
month or so.
You can't get through to
can't.
them now.
You can't.
The practitioner hotline shut down.
Yep.
You can't even fax a power of attorney over.
Yeah.
You're not even going to be able to get to them when this thing clears up. I mean, it's
No, they're
going to
gonna be back.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts.
Well,
Okay.
you and I have had conversations because I got a client that's in a situation where we just got another letter saying it's going to be delayed another 90 days before they even look at what his situation
Yeah.
is.
I've got a client with an offer and compromise in the system right now.
Yeah.
We sent that in August. Right away, they sent a letter. You should hear from us by November 15th.
Right.
November 15th, he gets a letter saying it's going to be another 90 days, and that's before the shutdown.
Yeah.
He'll be lucky to get resolution by the summer.
So
Yeah.
that's commonplace.
Yeah, they've been backed up a little bit more on the offer area the last couple of years, and that's for people that really have a tax situation, owe some significant money, don't
And
have
they're
it.
still going to be
Right.
charged
So-
interest and penalties.
So let's get back to what this whole new
Well,
tax
let's
situation.
tell everybody how they can get in touch with David.
Oh yeah, Dave. How
Sure.
did they get in touch with you, Dave?
Sure. Email is dna.korcz@optonline.net.
Okay, and guys, check your screen. That information is going to be popping up. What's your phone number, Dave?
631-582-1416.
Say that again.
631-582-1416.
And if you'd like to call in and ask David a question about your tax return or find out a little bit more information that'll help you out, please call us in at 631-415-1365. Write what it says on the screen. Just take a look, have a pencil and paper ready, and ask David whatever questions that you wish.
Oh, here we go, Dave. We got our first call for the evening. Welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Who's calling?
Good evening.
Hi, this is Tommy from Farmingdale.
Hey, Tommy. How you doing tonight?
doing?
What can I do for?
All right, not bad. I had a question. I have a small fortune that I want to try to keep for my wife before I divorce her. What do I do?
We got to have a private consultation on that. I can't give that advice out over the air.
Really?
631-582-1416.
But how much do you have that you're trying to hide?
Like 415?
$415?
Yeah.
How many tickets is that?
Listen, I don't want her to get her goddamn dime. I worked hard for that money.
Of course we do.
Who is this guy?
Hey, Tommy. Listen, is your wife a teacher? Because you get half her pension.
I never thought of that. How do you know that?
There we go.
How do you know that, Darren? That's amazing.
It's amazing, right? What you find out in your lifetime.
It's the Psychic Power Hour.
Half the pension. That's incredible.
You know, you
Incredible,
sound
Tommy.
just like one of our other people that frequently call in.
Was that Frank from
Frank
Syosset?
from Syosset.
Yeah, you sound like
And then John from New
from
Jersey.
Hazlitt. Yeah, John from
New Jersey.
Hazlitt.
You sound
He's
just like
another
those
guy.
two.
Calls it on the fan.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. All I know is I got to try to hide this money.
Hey, listen. You know what? Hey, why we got you on, Tom? Why we got you on the phone? We're going to talk about something that happened last night. It was very exciting for the three of us because we're all Yankee fans, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
You know, we know, Tom, that you're not of that. But Tom, wasn't it exciting that the Mets announced their bobblehead nights yesterday?
Yeah, at the same time when we were
now we
getting
know all the
mentioned
dates
that
the Mets are-
Rivera was
I actually went online and bought tickets for those specific days with the bobbleheads.
I'm sure.
It worked. It worked. They're a genius marketing guru.
Yeah, right.
It's unbelievable.
On the day they announced the Hall of Famers, the Mets go out.
Do their
Class act.
bobblehead day yesterday?
They announced their bobblehead day yesterday. So
I think they're going to be a better team this year.
I got to get this guy's phone number. Listen, I'll call you off the air. I got to hide this money.
okay,
Damn it.
I'll talk to you later. Hey, Tom, thanks for calling in, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye, Frank.
We
Okay,
gotta
let's
have
get
some
back to some
Let's get
serious,
serious
stuff.
Of course.
He's like our
Comedy relief.
no, I'm the comedy relief.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
I was
what he
the
is.
comedy
I don't know
relief.
what he is.
Yeah, he's-
Whatever he is. He's your cousin.
Well, he's my cousin, but
Yeah,
he told me that he listened to the show after he was on last week, and he thought he was very funny. So
So he got to his head. So now
got to his head. He thinks
it's a
he's funny.
ritual.
Well, you know,
It's
I
become
love
a
him.
People like to see and hear themselves.
Yeah, I love him. So
good.
he's a good guy.
He sounds like
Let's see if he calls to discuss this fortune.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
415.
$450.
I said, look, best place, put it in one of Norm's shows.
There you go.
I'll give you a deal.
There you go,
Exactly.
Tom.
Get
Tom
some
from
tickets.
Farmingdale.
Seats.
You got the advice.
See Donna Summer in 2 weeks.
There you
Donna
go.
Summer in 2 weeks. There you go.
There you are.
That's a good show.
All right, so let's talk business.
Let's talk. Yeah.
Let's talk
Okay.
business.
So now, the people you're looking for are business owners.
Yep, small business owners.
Small business. owners. Also, I have to tell everybody that I think it was a great compliment to yourself that at one of the network meetings that we were at about a year and change ago, almost to the day, somebody recommended to you one of their business clients. And it was a gentleman who was a financial planner who, I don't know if you want me to mention names, so I'm not going to mention names, who recommended to you his friend who was looking to leave his business and looking to sell and or give away his clients.
Well, that was a sad situation, unfortunately. What happened was he came to me at one of my networking meetings and said that his client had received a letter saying that his preparer had suffered a stroke and wasn't going to be doing returns anymore. And would I accept his client as one of my clients? So I said, obviously, I'm taking new clients. I'll talk to your client who's helping out this preparer and all of
His other clients. Yeah.
And he said, I don't know, I'll get back to you. And this was early February, right at the start of tax season when we were getting cranking last year. Came to me around February 10th and said, well, the guy didn't suffer a stroke. Unfortunately, he had brain cancer and passed away shortly thereafter.
Wow.
But the practice was basically being given to his office manager, who was not a CPA and really had no desire to continue with it. And she and I came to an arrangement where I would service as many of the clients as would come to me. We sent out a letter to over 700 of them.
Hear that?
Yep.
700.
Blessedly, over 200 of them signed up with us, and we're hoping that they'll come back and repeat this year. I think it was a great experience with all of them.
But you're also looking for firms, right?
Oh, absolutely.
People that are looking to, they've been in business a long time.
Some people don't even realize that if they have a business, there's ways to get out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, by
make sure your clients are taken care of.
Yeah, well, it's all about customer service,
Exactly.
right? Because in this business, as you know,
It's
all about the customer service.
relational, exactly.
It's very relational in what we, because you're not providing other than here's your tax return, and there's not much more than
Well, I
that.
try and do a lot more of a holistic picture.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working on a personal return, I'll ask those uncomfortable questions. Hey, you guys have kids. Do you have a will?
Right.
No? Get one.
Soon.
You know,
Yeah, get one. And,
get it.
And you make the right referrals. You make the right connections.
we
Because
have-
I know you
we
got
have
the
a
right
network.
people around you. Yeah.
We're surrounded by great professionals that we work with, and we refer all the time.
Right.
You know, I've called realtors with clients sitting in my office. They're looking to sell their house.
Right.
Talk to this person. Talk to that person. You know, when's the last time you updated the beneficiaries on your retirement plans and your life insurance?
Now, besides business and all the things that you do, I know that you give a lot of time towards fundraising
Sure.
and some charities that you've
Yes.
donated your services to and so on. You want to mention
Sure,
any
absolutely.
of those?
I'm actively involved with a charity called SASSY, which is Specialized Autism Support and Information. They are a recently founded charity. They're about 3 years old. I assisted them in getting their 501c3, and they do monthly birthday parties for children on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
You know, having an Asperger's son myself, a lot of those kids don't get invited to birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get left out. So they started this. It was a bunch of moms sitting around a kitchen table about 4 years ago, and they decided to do something. They've got over 2,000 members now.
Is that amazing? What, 2,000?
Now, where is Sassy located?
They just moved into office space about a year ago, Over in Stony Brook, right by the PC Richards.
So they're right on Long Island. So
Yeah,
there's a
they're on Long
lot of
Island.
help for these kids right here on Long Island.
Absolutely.
You know, and parents of children that suffer from this, look up SASSY. And you know what?
SassyNY.org. SASINY.org.
Okay.
Check
So
it out.
if you have a child and you need some help and some support, they're a great place
They're
to
phenomenal.
call.
They're
Great place
yeah.
to get involved with. Donate your services or join some of their functions.
Phenomenal resource for the families. They have a monthly support meeting for the parents as well, which is usually last Friday of every month out at Mather in Port Jeff.
Right. Okay. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm involved with them for about 2 years.
Well, thank you for doing that. You know,
No, it's good stuff.
That's good. And
It's much appreciated.
We'll get, as courtesy to you and to them, we'll get them on the show. We do and the last week of every month, we donate that hour to a charity.
Great.
So
Yeah, it'd be great to have them on.
No, that'll be great, especially if you can, really do my tax return very special this year.
Very special.
course.
I'd be
Well,
very.
here's
well,
the
you
thing.
do that every year.
Here's
so-
the thing, and let's talk about it. Now. Even though the federal government did change their rules, New York State didn't necessarily change the rules
No,
as
they
much
didn't.
as the federal government did. So let's talk about some of the changes the federal government put into place, and let's talk about itemized deductions, because somebody can't write off everything that he thinks he can write off anymore.
Well,
Oh, you'd be surprised.
No comment. I do not divulge client information over the air. But the one that everybody was up in arms about in the high tax states was the change to state and local tax deductions. I mean, here on Long Island, we've got some of the highest property taxes in the nation. That's why the tax grievance business is so big here. You don't see that anywhere else.
Right.
I've never seen it anywhere else around the country. Grieve your taxes.
Yeah.
It's huge business here on Long Island.
Well, because everywhere around the country, the taxes are reasonable. They're not.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not astronomical. Like
Most folks are paying north of $10,000 just in property taxes here.
And
Between
why is
school and
that?
property.
Why is that specific? Because what did the federal government do
Well,
in
they
reference
capped
to?
it. They
Okay.
capped it at 10 grand.
Right.
In the past, you used to be able to write off all of your property taxes, all of the New York State income tax payments that you either made with an estimated tax payment or that came out of your W-2 as New York State withholding. You used to be able to write all of that off. Now it's capped at 10 grand. So if you're a married couple, each making $75,000 for argument's sake, each making $150,000 in a 6% tax bracket, that's $9,000 just in state income taxes. Take that with a standard property tax bill of 12 grand, you're at $21,000. You're losing a $12,000 write-off. Now, theoretically, they made some of that back by lowering the rates, about 3% across the board, and by upping the standard deduction. They think that a lot fewer people are going to itemize under the new law. But the property taxes are still deductible for New York State.
You know, it's funny. I was having a conversation with a guy in upstate New York, right? CPA up in upstate New York, and we were talking about these things. And he was saying to me that it's really not going to affect a lot of his clients because their property taxes are low.
Get about 6.
Right, yeah.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. He goes, so I'm not really going to have too much of a problem with that. And I'm sitting there going, but like you said, on Long Island, your average
Long
property
Island.
taxes is $10,000 to $12,000.
New York City.
New York
you're
City.
paying another 3 or 4% of your income.
It's tremendous the effect that it has. It so from a federal standpoint, it's a loss, right?
In a lot of cases.
In a lot of cases,
They're losing a write-off there. yeah.
right? Especially the higher wealth clients.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
The higher net worth folks are getting crushed.
they're getting crushed
And
because
state stayed the same.
States stay the same. You can still itemize all of your property taxes for the state. Now, you can never deduct state income taxes on the state return, but the other ones you can. Property tax is unlimited.
so
And the other big one is the unreimbursed employee business expenses. All those road warriors, the guys that get behind a wheel and drive around for their boss and sell. You know, the traveling salesman where he may or may not get a car allowance, but he's driving 30,000 miles a year. He used to be able to write off $15,000 for a nice round number
right.
of that. Under the new law,
Nope.
gone for the
There's
feds.
no more mileage, right?
No more mileage for the feds if you're an employee. If you're in business for yourself, you can still write off your miles. But for the employee, the unreimbursed employee business expenses, gone for the feds, still there for the state. So a lot of folks were under the impression, if I'm not itemizing for the feds, I'm not going to itemize for the state. I'm not going to keep the records.
Right.
It's going to be a nightmare the next 3 months. Oh, I thought I didn't have to keep that. Yeah, you did, because we could still get it for the state.
Well, and that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Yep.
You know, they hear these things, and you know, let's talk about that. When they rolled this thing out, how many changes have happened since they initially announced this last year?
Ton.
Right, and it's still happening.
Day by day.
Because
they still haven't approved all the forms yet.
Right, and that's the thing. You know, I saw basically the new 1040, the front page of the 1040.
Yeah, they say it's postcard size.
Yeah.
But then there's the 6 schedules you have to attach behind it.
Well, that's the thing. All the
Whereas
other
used to
pages
do
are
one.
full. All the other pages are full. The first page is only half a page now, and they
You
left
got
it
a postcard
blank.
size, yep.
And they left it blank.
So now everything's like a postcard?
No,
Just the first page.
just first page. It's like half a page,
It's a half
but
page. Like a
the
big
other half a
postcard.
page is blank.
Do you remember when you used to get the blank tax forms
Absolutely.
sent to your house?
Yep.
Sure.
Every
In the booklet.
yeah,
the booklet.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised more people didn't steal those because they used to have the mailing label in there with your social security number on.
Yep. You remember that? Yeah,
Yes,
because you
I
could
do.
just take the label and you
And
could put it
there.
right on the
Yep.
form.
So that, identity thieves, you missed an opportunity.
So Tom from Farmingdale wants to know what he can buy with his $415. It's 10 tickets to the Donna Summer Show, February 8th, right?
And he'll get change.
Or
And he'll get changed. He'll have
or a
enough-
good tax return.
And he'll have he'll have enough money for a beer.
He
So-
can give
so
away
Tom-
tickets to a client.
Yeah,
You
client.
must have some very, very strange, crazy stories over the years that
Oh, absolutely.
from people that are wacky or people that you really saved their butt.
He said he wasn't going to talk about you.
Well, I give him permission.
Now, we're not gonna talk about it. You're not wacky, and we didn't save you anything.
What's the strangest thing that you've seen from a write-off perspective that people
That
have
someone
tried
have
to
tried to take.
Yeah.
Had one come to me last year. He was referred by another CPA because he had already received an audit notice from the IRS in the mail, so they were already onto him.
Right.
He was an employee of somebody and decided to play around with one of the tax software packages that you can buy. I forget if it was H&R Block or TurboTax, one of the two major ones. And he decided to craft his own refund. He put his W-2 in,
Right.
put in his mortgage interest and his property taxes. Those were all done appropriately. Then, well, I'm going to play around with the unreimbursed employee business expenses until I get the refund where I want it. Basically, is what the guy did. And, I think he said he worked in a machine shop or something like that. So he put it down as, I bought a $30,000 piece of machinery that I wasn't reimbursed for.
A $30,000 piece of machinery.
So
that he
obviously the
wasn't
IRS was
reimbursing.
questioning this.
Yeah. Yeah, because a guy who makes $60,000 a year and he buys a $30,000 piece of machinery.
He was making just under 100 if memory serves.
Okay.
But,
So how'd you get him
still,
out of it?
We didn't. I
You
told him
did.
pay it. I said, you
You got the money, pay
got
it.
the money. You got money you should have.
Okay, so we got a question. We got a question from Jeff. Hey, Jeff, thanks for watching tonight. So he says, if you're not an employee, you can contract, right? And mileage starts at your driveway. So if they're a 1099 for a company,
Okay.
so they would be considered self-employed.
They're self-employed.
I'm assuming that's what Jeff's question is. Okay. Then they can. It's just like he's running his own
But
business. He's going to file.
If you're 1099, you're in business.
Right.
And then there's the whole question of, is he really an employee or an independent contractor?
Right. So
Which
now
results in
comes
20 questions.
explain the difference when you're self-employed as to filing for these deductions as an employee.
Sure, when you're an employee, you don't get any write-offs related to what you do for your boss.
Right.
When you're in business for yourself, you can write off an office in your home. You can write off your home computer, as long as
But
the
there's
business use
there's a
percentage.
there's
your
a-
office.
There's additional forms involved now.
Sure,
now they have to
absolutely.
file a Schedule C,
Yep, absolutely.
right? So they have to register. They're supposed to register as a business within the county
and,
that they're
and they're
working.
responsible for their own Social Security.
Yeah.
Right now, when you're an employee, the boss is taking out 7.65% from your paycheck for Social Security and Medicare, and the company also pays that. You're responsible for that other 7.65% on your net when you're self-employed.
So everybody who is going to be, is an independent contractor, you guys, and because I run into this all the time, they don't understand the self-employment tax part.
No,
of
they
it.
get crushed with
There's
that.
15.3% you have to pay
and on your net.
on your net income, and that goes towards your Social Security. That's your Social Security
When you
taxes.
retire, exactly.
I get that a lot because I have talent
That's
that
all.
gets
We have
paid
lots
to
of talent.
them,
We know that.
Independent
and
contractor.
then we have corporations that set themselves
Yep.
up as corporation. Now, you just
Absolutely.
did a couple of 1099s, and
Yep.
I mean there was one that was sizable, And that's just for me. I can only imagine what she's going to
Everything
have
else.
to pay. You know.
Well, then she gets all her write-offs against that.
Yeah.
So if she's traveling to you, she gets to write off that travel.
yeah,
if
but
she's
there's
staying in a
only,
hotel,
again, there's only so much that you can write off.
sure, absolutely.
Right.
As long as it's ordinary and necessary for your business.
People also deduct, and they don't understand. They buy. I do a lot of fundraising, and as you know, and they buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So they think they can write off the whole ticket.
Can't.
Can't do that.
Absolutely not.
Let's dive into that a little bit, right?
Sure.
You used to be able to say, hey, I'm taking clients out to dinner, and I'm going to take them to a ball game, or I'm going to take them to a show and things
The
like that.
entertainment portion's gone. You
Right.
can still do the business meal portion,
Mm-hmm.
but tickets for the sporting events, gone.
Gone. It's all of that stuff is gone. They don't realize that you can't bundle and package and do all of
No.
that stuff anymore.
Can't do it.
And you know what?
Country clubs are going to take a hit. Sports teams are going to take a hit on the skyboxes.
Right. Because it's just something they can't write off anymore.
Yep.
Now, did New York State change that?
No. So you're always going to have this disparity between the feds and the state. It makes more work for us, which is great.
Right.
Whenever I hear tax reform, my eyes light up. It's like, okay, here's a new car.
Here's a
You know, it's time.
You're gonna
You
be
know?
you're gonna be putting a new pool in Dave's. I'm looking at Jeff's question. Is a new pool in Dave's backyard this year? So Jeff's got another thing. Hey Jeff, why don't you call in 631-415-1365 and you can ask your questions directly.
What's his other
You
question?
know, second question here is downside is that there's no profit sharing or 401k for an independent contractor.
You can certainly set up some phenomenal. You can do better with the retirement plans than you can working for
All
somebody
right,
else.
so Jeff, why don't you give a call in?
You know,
and,
there are other
Eddie
types,
Edge,
of, there are
what
other
you-
types of plans that you can set up that are even more tax advantageous.
You
than a
should be
401k.
calling Dave because he's got the answers.
Dave's
to your
got the
questions.
answers for you, Jeff.
And what number is that they reach you at? Phone number.
631-582-1416.
All right.
631-582-1416.
So you're getting it now. Now you understand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's some of the crazy stories that you have? You ever saved anybody a lot of money?
Sure.
Or,
We've done some great jobs under the IRS Offer and Compromise program where people fall upon hard times and owe a bunch of money. I've had somebody owed just under $250,000. We settled for $20,000.
oh,
Approximately 20. You know, the guy's business was devastated by Hurricane Sandy. There were extenuating circumstances. You know, he had no, and it was his case took a year and a half to get through.
Right.
Offer and
His
compromise
case was not typical of
Right.
a typical offer and compromise.
You know, you
so-
have a wage earner. This particular individual owned a business, and the
Right.
business got hit hard. And you know, when the business is your sole source of support, and you're a year behind on your mortgage, going through a modification,
Mhm.
you can sometimes work miracles.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell, what all the ads on TV don't tell you, is that all those offers come with strings attached. You have to be a good citizen for the next 5 years if you accept an offer and compromise. You have to file your taxes on time. You're allowed an extension, but you got to file them on time, pay them on time.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they can pull the deal on the table and put back all the savings plus interest and penalties. This particular gentleman, we saved about $200,000. First 4 years, he was dynamite.
don't
Year
tell
four-
me.
Yeah. Year five, he owed about $18,000, $20,000, sending $6,000 with the return. Thank heavens the IRS still had me down as the gentleman's power of attorney. I get a phone call. Are you still representing him? Yeah, what's going on? Well, he owed $20,000, but last year's return he sent in $6,000. I said, and you're calling me why? Well, because if he doesn't pay within 60 days, we're going to put the lien back on his house and come after him for the $200,000 that you saved him plus interest and penalties. He's got 60 days? Okay, let me give him a call. I'll follow up with you shortly. Called the client and said, have you gone off your antipsychotic meds? You know.
You're this close to getting out
You
of
know,
it.
you need to come up with the other $13,000. I don't care if you have to go to the loan shark on a corner and pay him double.
Mm-hmm.
Even if for the $13,000 you're short, even if you have to pay back $26,000 to somebody, it's still cheaper than $200,000. And he said, how long do I have? I said, I wasn't going to give this guy till the last possible second. I said, 15 days. Called the IRS on day 30 and he had paid. And got it done. But, you know, they don't tell you those things.
Remember
ads
there
on
was a
TV.
story that you mentioned about a couple that was on vacation or something. They took $40,000 out of their
Oh,
account.
yeah, that one. Yes. Brand new clients of mine. They'd come to me owing the IRS about $85,000. But they had been ignoring all the letters. Never ignore the letters. Work with somebody. So the more you put them in the drawer,
A lot of clients that I run into this all the time is they just hand me a pile of unopened letters.
I just got 2 of them in the mail from one of my clients this week.
Yeah.
Unopened?
Well, never. Yeah, came certified mail. It's dated in November, and they haven't opened it.
Yeah. And it's certified mail, so that means they basically want you to talk to them.
They want your attention.
They want your attention.
They want your attention. They're getting ready to seize assets, typically, notice of intent to levy, things of that nature. But in this particular case, they retained me, and I'm stepping into a restaurant with my wife, and this lady calls in tears. They took my money. How much money? All of it. Define all of it. $43,000.
They're
On an
gonna.
$80,000 tax liability. Now the challenge was, these folks were leaving for vacation in Mexico. This was all the money they had in the world. They work in a seasonal business where they make all their money April to October.
Okay.
So here they are in February, getting ready to go on vacation. All their money's gone to live on for the next 2-3 months till business picks up. So we got a hold of the IRS. Said, look, we're trying to work out a payment arrangement. I'm going to get you on a payment arrangement until this lady refinances her house. Got a letter from a mortgage broker friend of mine. Sent it over along with my power of attorney. That look, they're trying to refinance the house.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get you paid as soon as they do. In the meantime, we're going to give you guys $3,000 a month because these people need this money to live on for the next 4 or 5 months. You can't take all $43,000 from them. So the IRS put back $40,000 to $43,000 within 1.5 business days. She called me, blessing me from Mexico on vacation.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically.
How do you say that in Spanish?
I don't know.
No, I don't. Yeah, but that's what people don't.
Bless
they
you.
don't get that the IRS. Look, the IRS is a business just like any other.
Oh, sure.
They want to
Communicate.
get paid. Talk, communicate. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, I need help,"
Absolutely.
because they will work with you. They're probably the most lenient people that you can actually.
They are, yeah. I've had
That you can deal
good
with.
luck there. I've had
Yeah.
some good conversations and had some good results for
And
people.
be honest with them.
Yeah.
Don't try to. They run up against everybody. You see
every
it.
lie in creation.
Every lie in creation. So as soon as you start lying, they know it, and then that's it. You're done.
You give truth, you get truth,
Right.
and it works.
Yeah.
And you and I have known each other for a while now, and we've sat, we've had coffee, we had lunch, we've done things. You do my taxes, and
Did you buy him a burger?
No, he
He
doesn't
bought
eat
me a
burgers.
burger. He took me out and bought
Oh,
me a
man.
burger. Yeah.
But you were in Vegas on vacation,
Yep, I go every January.
and if I'm not mistaken, I think you're leaving this week again.
Saturday. Yeah.
But you're going there to see your client.
Yep. That I acquired a client about 5 years ago.
Yeah, this is an interesting. Everyone would like. Well, this is a good story.
Yeah.
Even you would like this story.
Even I
Even
like all
Even you.
stories.
All right, well, this is a
I
good
like
story.
Dave and I talk all the
Okay,
time.
go tell everybody the story.
When I was out in Vegas at a trade show about 5 years ago, and trade show was a little light. I figured maybe I could pick up some people in a similar business to one of my clients. Was the West Coast Art and Frame Show.
Okay.
One of my clients does custom art framing, so we go out every year and try and negotiate deals on frame molding and new machinery for his factory. And I figured maybe I'll meet some other framers, see if I can get their tax work. Wasn't really getting any traction there. So the first night I'm down at the roulette table playing my lucky numbers, and there's a lady at the table next to me playing the same numbers but with much larger chips. My combination came in for $70-$80. She hit for about $850. So I give her a great big high five and I said, you have to be careful. If you hit for much more, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. She goes, what, are you an accountant? I said, as a matter of fact, I am. And she goes, oh, that's awesome. So now I think I'm being punked. I'm looking around for the hidden cameras. When you tell people you're an accountant for a living, usually they don't say, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they go, oh.
So I said, look, I didn't say I play center field for the Yankees. Why is that awesome? Well, my husband just started a law firm 6 months ago. I think I screwed up his fourth quarter payroll taxes. Can I pick your brains while we play? I'll pay you for your time. So we played for another hour.
Well, you know she's got $850.
Exactly.
That's right, yeah.
Exactly. No, she was up. We played for an hour, pointed her in the right direction. She threw me a couple $25 chips for my time and got up to leave and said, I was so comfortable talking to you. Can you assist me with the books for my husband's business? I said, absolutely, but understand, I'm in New York, you're here in Vegas. Oh, that won't be a problem. I said, all right, here's my business card. My cell number's on there. It's Monday night. I'm flying out Thursday at lunch. Go home, talk to your husband. I'd like to meet with both of you to discuss the needs of the business. Tuesday comes and goes, no phone call. I said, all right, maybe she went home. She had a couple of drinks that, or maybe the husband asked her if she was out of her mind. What are you going to go to some guy in New York for? Wednesday morning, no phone call. never going to hear from these people again. Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the
Didn't you
afternoon.
have her number?
No, she had mine. Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, phone rings. Hi, this is so-and-so from Roulette the other night. Can you squeeze my husband and I in for breakfast at your hotel before we fly out tomorrow? I said, absolutely. I'm thinking, okay, it's a safe place. They want to meet me in my hotel.
Right.
It's not some jealous husband who's got a hole in the desert for me thinking I'm hitting on his wife, because I'm not. You know, we met at the buffet in my hotel. The husband was in and out in 10 minutes. If my wife is comfortable, you got the business. Been going out there doing their work for the last 4 years. It's great.
That's awesome.
Right off.
That's a great, yeah.
Yeah, you can write off the travel.
There you
Right
go.
off.
You're going to visit a client.
Absolutely.
Exactly
Right.
right.
I make sure we grab lunch every year when I go out there. We go over some numbers.
Right.
Then I have another couple of clients out there. One of my oldest friends drives up from New Mexico. He's a client. He's got a small IT firm in Albuquerque.
Okay.
So we see a client a day while we're out there.
That's awesome.
Business
you
gets
mean-
transacted.
It's a business
True
trip.
business trip. True business purpose. I also go to the West Coast Art and Frame Show every year.
You go to
So-
Louisiana too, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have an optometrist client down there in Louisiana.
So you're
New
a
Orleans.
world traveler when it comes
I
to
travel a little bit, yeah.
All right. That's excellent.
We help people in 23 states last year.
So how
23
is
vacations?
if somebody right, yeah, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, Dave, how do they go
Again.
about doing that?
Sure, 631-582-1416.
582-1416. So now you mentioned playing center field for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go into this. The Hall of Fame voting yesterday.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal, right? So
Absolutely
your
phenomenal.
thoughts. Now here's the big question, right? Mo Rivera, no question at all,
Greatest reliever of all time.
greatest reliever of all time, first unanimous Hall of Famer. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
To Mo. Fantastic Yankee. Messina, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Of
Think
course,
about it.
because
He pitched
You
his
can't
entire
compare him
career.
to Mo.
He's
well, I'm not
two different
comparing him to
worlds.
Mo. I'm saying,
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Is he
yes
a
or
Hall
no?
of Famer?
Abs-
Yes or no?
absolutely.
That's my
Absolutely.
question.
Like a guy won 270 games,
Right?
pitched his entire career in the American League East during the steroid era.
Yeah. And yeah,
You know,
exactly.
270 wins.
Well, you think about it in this day and age, will we ever see a 300-game winner again?
Maybe.
Because these guys don't make it past the 6th, 7th inning.
How many more years is Verlander going to go?
That's a good question.
I think he's got 204, 205 wins, something like that, and he's 34, 35.
Right. So if he
So
goes
you-
another 6 and he runs
6
7,
years and has
15
a-
6
plus,
years he'll be pushing it, and he's not going to
Yeah.
be pitching that much.
he'll be close.
During those
He'll
6
be,
years.
he may get up around Messina level, around 270.
He'll be
Right.
a closer. Oh, but there again, he can pick up some wins being a closer too. Going
Yeah,
in
usually
and
don't get
win.
too many out of the bullpen.
I don't think
No.
we're ever going to really see another 300. They're going to be rarer than they were.
Oh, sure.
Do you
Absolutely.
Back in
give
the 70s
lectures?
and
Do you give
80s.
speeches?
Oh, sure.
Do
So
you have
what do you
anything
th-
coming up?
What do you
that
speak
you,
on?
That you
Nothing rocking and rolling right now. No big speeches coming up right now.
So what do you speak on?
Usually taxes and the change
How
of
about
small
accounting?
business, accounting. We do some outsourced CFO work for folks where within the past week, one of my clients has put in an offer on a company. Looks like we're going to buy.
Okay.
Help them buy one. One of my other clients is divesting himself and going into a different line of work, and we're working on the sale. So we do things beyond taxes
Okay.
because we've got that CFO background.
I'm
Right.
surprised you even picked tonight to be on the show, considering all the work that you have to get done.
I always like to get in right around the beginning of tax season because once tax season really hits, I can't. But this way, if there's any questions on the new tax law and how it's impacting folks, we can get the information out there to people.
So, folks, we have a few more minutes. If anybody's got a question, please, 631-415-1365. 631-415-1365. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call right now and ask Dave a question.
If not, we'll jump back to baseball.
If not, we're going to jump back to baseball. Or we're going to, you know what, you can ask Dave any question at all. Dave's also a black belt in karate, right?
Yeah.
All right. Is that the only discipline that you study?
Yeah, it's the only discipline I study, yeah. Matsubishi Shorin-ryu. It's an Okinawan style. Training about 22 years.
Okay, excellent. Fantastic.
Over in Smithtown.
So he's a killer CPA.
Oh yeah.
We chopped through the confusion with the tax forms.
We chopped through. That's beautiful. Is that your logo?
It's going to be.
It's gonna. That's it. That's a good one.
I have the domain name taxblackbelt.com. One of these days I'll actually do a
that is the
website with
best.
it. Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, that is.
Somebody
a
had
good
Tax Ninja and Tax Assassin, but
Tax Assassin
Yeah.
is good. It's
gone.
good too. I like.
one.
It's gone.
Somebody's got it.
it's gone. Somebody's got it. But I got tax black belt in all its iterations.
So you know what? I think that would be a good one.
I like that.
It's catchy, and then you can do commercials
Absolutely.
in your gi.
I was thinking about having one of those little whiteboard ads done
Right.
with a little karate guy chopping through IRS red tape.
There you
Actually,
go.
when
That's
when
fantastic.
the show is
That's
over,
great.
you could
Great
ask-
marketing idea.
You could ask Darren and I about our new, which everybody can get involved with if they would like. We have a new advertising program here on the station, not just on our show, but for the whole station. It's very, I'm not going to use the word
It's affordable.
cheap.
It's affordable.
Inexpensive.
We'll certainly
It's
talk about it.
very
It's
inexpensive.
It's very inexpensive for what you get.
And-
Because you could have Norm reading your commercials.
yeah, just like I do on stage.
There you go.
Yeah. I
But
used
yeah.
to advertise on CBS FM. And one of the DJs on CBS FM, for those of you out there of a certain age, was Bobby J. I don't know if you remembers Bobby J, and he used to be a member of a couple of the doo-wop groups. And I would go and write a script, and Bobby J would do the commercial on air, and he would do it live. It got to be so popular the way that he did it. I incorporated it into the shows. So Bobby all sang with the teenagers,
Right.
Frankie Lemon's teenagers,
Sure.
and I would bring Bobby out and say, "Bob, this is our next show. Do it like you would do it on the radio, ladies and gentlemen, on February 8th." And he was just terrific. It was like it was a fun part, of the evening. He was a great guy. He still is a great guy. I don't want to say was,
Yeah, so that's our pitch, Dave, to be part of us forever. No, I'm kidding.
There you go.
That's it. But yeah, you can have Norm reading your. Look, Jeff even wants to know if we need some advertising on it. That's our Jeff Quest.
Oh, that was Jeff
Yeah.
Quest. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeff.
Well, that was
Of course,
nice
Jeff, we
to-
need advertising.
Why
on
didn't
it.
Jeff call in?
I don't know.
That's embarrassing.
Maybe he's at work.
He's at work doing it, but he's watching us as he's there. So
he's there.
well, that's what
he's tuning in.
That's what it is. These people need to do that. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, Jeff, we always need your help, man. We definitely need your help. So
Gotcha.
And if he needs mine, he can get a hold of me.
right. So we told you this time is going to fly by.
Oh, it does.
It's we're
Well, you know
coming to
that.
the end. We're coming to the very end. So, Dave, you have any other questions for Dave?
Any other things you want to talk about? Anything coming up?
Nothing-
Sassy having any functions or anything you want to
I
mention?
know they've got a date in May for the big gala. I'll get you the date so you can announce it.
Okay.
I don't have that off the cuff. I know it's going to be
Right.
the end of May.
All right.
So what we got to do is we got to get your. So it's the end of May. So how can we get them on so we can get them a little exposure before the?
Well, we
big
can
gala?
just get the flyer and we can do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it
Yeah,
live. We'll do
yeah.
a live read for you.
And then
Cool.
after May we'll get them on. Probably
Yeah,
sometime
absolutely.
during the summer or
Absolutely.
something like that.
All right.
Today I had a nice meeting with the Millville Chamber
Oh yeah.
of Commerce. Looks like we're going to be putting something together for May or June. We're just looking
Alright.
for a venue. I don't know
Okay.
what acts are going to be there, but I have come across a live tribute to Robin Williams.
Yes, you were telling me about that.
That's
but you
got
know
to be
what?
wild.
It's going to be
He's good. He's
I
excellent.
showed it to Dave tonight. To Darren tonight.
Forgets my
Just
Nothing deep.
phenomenal. This guy tours America. He's very, very well known. Looks like, sounds like, acts like, and I heard, I don't know if it's true, that he's manic, just like Robin was.
He was a brilliant talent, Robin.
Brilliant,
He was. Yeah.
just brilliant. And this guy
Fantastic.
does
Taken way too
Popeye,
soon.
all the Popeye and Mork and Mindy
Well,
routines,
it's
and all this kind of stuff. It's really, really great. And that show's going to be in June, either the 22nd or 29th.
Make it the 22nd.
Boy.
I'm not around the 29th.
Oh, it could be. It might also be either the 21st or the 28th, but if you're not around the 29th, you probably won't be around the 28th.
Bingo.
either, right?
so there you
I'm
go.
pretty smart. I figured I went out by myself.
All right. So Dave, one more time. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do it?
Sure. 631-582-1416. 631-582-1416. Or email DNAKORCZ@optonline.net.
All right, and all that information's up on your screen, so make sure you write it down. Dave, we want to thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Great
Thanks for
show.
having
All right, yeah, great show tonight.
You gave a lot of good information.
Beautiful.
And you know, this is the first year with this information.
Exactly.
So whether it stays or it changes again or whatever it may be.
And if you go somewhere else this year, bring it to me over the summer. I'm more than happy to take a look for free. The last 3 years. I can't look at the last 3 years during tax season.
Right.
But it's something that I offer out there to the networking community. I'll look at the last 3 years. You never know what I'll find. I found people.
Well, you did it for me.
I found people up to $15,000 on a free look for something as simple as filing status.
Yeah.
You know, it was a married couple where the previous preparer was treating him as head of household and independent. He had been doing their taxes for 15 years, and they got
Right.
married 7 years in, and he didn't take the 10 minutes to have the conversation with his client each year.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
That's crazy.
All right,
Are you
Dave.
giving any speeches coming up?
Actually,
Anything coming
yeah.
up?
Dave, I want to thank Dave for being on the show again, and then we can talk about us. We got all kinds of stuff coming up.
We'll do it.
Actually, I'm putting together now. Actually, I'm going to be speaking again at the Miller Business Center. We don't have a date set yet, but that's going to be happening again.
Is that where they wanted us to do a remote?
We're actually, we've been asked to do a remote. They have May 6th, the Middle Country Library and the Middle Country Chamber of Commerce put on a vendor expo.
Yeah, we went last year. Yeah.
And they want us to actually broadcast live from there.
Mhm.
So, we're going to be talking about that.
No big deal.
Right?
No biggie.
What about you? I know you got Donna Summer coming up. You got Robin Williams now.
We got Donna Summer coming
What
up
else you got
twice. We
going
got the Temptations and Gladys Knight the week after Donna on February 16th. In November, we have the Lords of 52nd Street at Tiller Center for the Marty Lyons Foundation. We're going to have something for the Melville Chamber. That's going to be coming up. Just waiting for a venue and a date. I got a phone call from a gentleman who runs a charity in Jamaica, Queens. Nice young man, 27 years of age, has six board members to his charity. They help kids, and they caught me off of LinkedIn.
Really?
So, I have this thing with LinkedIn. I try to be friends with everybody that's in a foundation or a charity or whatever. And then when they friend me back, I have a letter that explains what we do. And I sent it out, and he responded.
Fantastic.
And
Fantastic.
that's
So
what
LinkedIn
marketing
does
and
work,
sales is
people.
all about, yeah.
Yes, that's
All
LinkedIn
social
does
media
work.
works if you work it.
Exactly.
It doesn't come to you. You gotta work it. It's like any other business. You
You
gotta
got
build it.
right, and that's the key. You got to work it. You can't just let things happen. You got to make things happen. So next week's our charity week,
Yeah,
right?
next
Last
week's our
week of the
charity
month
week.
we have our charity week.
Very interesting charity coming
We got
on
the
board.
Air Power Museum coming on, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
'Cause, as you know,
I think
I'm a
I
pilot.
may take off next Wednesday.
You may do that.
Just let the
That's
two of
okay
you-
with me. I don't. Yeah, I
just
think
talk
I
about
think I'm
it.
going to come
We'll
into my
put Jim-
flight suit.
We'll put Jim in the
Up,
seat.
up.
Jim Savelli, everybody.
Yeah, Jim Savella.
I mean, I could do it.
That's it. We'll get you. You know what? We'll put your Navy outfit
You got a
back
good
on. I'll come
microphone.
into
You
my
give
flight
us
suit.
these things here. You got a good one.
Well, that's why
You must
he's.
know the boss.
That's why he's a producer.
There you go.
You know,
Anyway,
he does a great
I
job for us.
guess we're good, right?
Yeah,
Is there anything go? That's it.
that's
All right.
it. I got nothing going on right now.
And I guess we'll see everybody next week.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you again.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a great week, great weekend. Good night,
Yep,
everyone.
You too.
Now I'm just this broken soul. I'm always a giver, but I'm never known. And I'm just this lonely man, alone on the river with my heart in my hand. The conversation, they're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man, with no idea of where I stand. Oh, my mind clear. Oh, I shed all of my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on.
man has already won.
Oh, my mind clears. Oh, I shed all my tears.